Okay, everybody, welcome to the webinar. My name is Marty Ford. I'm very excited to be with you today. I'm with the Music Academy Success System. We're going to spend the next hour together having to talk about how to rebuild your enrollment during COVID. So I'm going to go ahead and start this presentation here. I got my slides pulled up. Hope everybody can see that. But we're so excited you're with us, and we're excited to announce we've had around 600 people register for this. So thank you for the turnout and welcome everybody that came. Part of the couple resources for you. One, there is the handout that is in your email. So if you want to follow along, be sure to check out the email that you received from the National Teacher Association. And the handout is there for you in a PDF so you can follow along and take notes. I could do this session for about 5 or 10 hours, but I'm going to pack everything in. So I've got a lot to say. So be sure to take notes, but there will be a replay. And this will be archived for 1 year so you can access it. So if you miss something, or if you had to run to the restroom or whatever, no worries. You can go back and access the replay to listen to it again. But be sure you have your handout in front of you. You want to check that out. We're going to do Q&A at the end. We've disabled the chat just because there's so many people. The chat's not going to really be conducive because there's no way for us to be able to see all the things going. So if you have a question at any time, we're going to do that at the end, but you can go ahead and send it in advance, or you can submit your questions at any time, and it's very easy to send those questions in. You can email them to office, OFFICE, at musicacademysuccess.com. We've got the email address right down here at the bottom of every slide. And also you can text us if you like. Our office, we actually have full-time office staff in our office all year round, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Eastern. And the number to text is 803-917-1434. Okay? So with that said, we're going to go ahead and dive in. And I'm so excited to be with you today. And let's get to work. Basically, everybody is, sorry, that's me moving around, I'll say that, is I've been a musician, all my life. I started as a young child playing violin at the University of South Carolina String Project. I took Suzuki guitar lessons. Many of you will know Bill Kostler. Bill, if you say hi to Bill. Bill was one of the early pioneers of the Suzuki guitar method and actually went to Japan to study with Dr. Suzuki. And he was doing work at the University of South Carolina, and I was a child in one of his early group guitar classes. So that was a really cool experience for me. Fast forward into teen years, started playing electric guitar, got serious about classical guitar, went to the South Carolina Governor's School for the Arts and studied with Christopher Berg. Then went to North Carolina School of the Arts, which is now the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, and studied classical guitar there. And I was there the last 2 years that Aaron Shearer was running the program. And I was a private student of Gerald Klickstein. So if he's listening, hello. And got to do master class, twice a week with Mr. Shearer. And that was an awesome experience because if you guys don't know, Aaron Shearer was the founder of the first college program in the U.S. for classical guitar. Okay. So fast forward from that, taught for many, many years. I've taught since I was a teenager and then went on to teach in community school at the University of South Carolina upstate for 6 years. I taught intro to guitar, applied music, music business, that kind of thing. But then what happened is my music schools kept getting bigger and bigger. I was actually getting my master's at that time from USC, and I got that. But the school kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And my little studio, which went from my house to a one-room commercial location, then to a full-blown commercial location, that became 600, 700 students. And fast forward to today, I've got 3 locations, over 1,000 students. And let's look at them. So this is the Columbia Arts Academy. You can check out the website at columbiaartsacademy.com. This is our Lexington location, Lexington School of Music. And the Irmo location, the Irmo Music Academy. So what is the Music Academy Success Systems program? The simplest way I can say it is for over a decade, we help music owners at every level. Teachers in their home, teachers in their apartment, teachers driving to other students' homes or other locations, people teaching in churches, people teaching in one-room schools, maybe they're renting a room somewhere. We work with mid-sized schools in commercial locations like 1,000 square feet, 200 students. We also work with huge schools that have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 students in huge commercial locations, paying $1,000 a month doing rental programs, retail. We have done it all, including rock school programs. So there's nothing we haven't seen in 10 years. And basically what we do, like we're going to do with you today, is we give them guidance on what I do in my schools, because I currently own and operate my schools. and are very active in them. And we help them to grow and achieve their goals. And that's why I brought two guests with me today to talk about how they've been able to navigate the program. And with that said, as I said, that's who we work with. I'm going to give you some videos. And don't worry, I'm only going to play snippets of each so that you can watch the entirety later. But I do want to give you kind of a taste to see what we do, who we work with, and what we're about. We had a seminar in Los Angeles. We have a lot of members in California. We have members in 44 U.S. states, Canada, and we've worked with people in 6 continents. So over 10 years, we've been everywhere as far as our reach. But we had a great meeting in Los Angeles. What I'm going to show right now is just a 60-second clip. You can watch the full version at musicacademysuccess.com. Go to videos. Let's just watch a little 60-second beginning here of our Los Angeles meeting. Here we go.
Hi everybody, it's Marty Ford here with Music Academy Success. I'm very excited to be here today in Los Angeles, California, with the Rios family from the Westminster Arts Academy to present them with the National Music School of the Year Award. I'm also happy to have with me Mr. Zelko Pavlovich, director of the Vivaldi Music Academy. When he started with Mass, he had 5 students. Today, he has over 3,000 students. He's here to tell his story, and we can't wait to share what Mass has done for him, but also music school owners all over the world, especially the stories from our members here in California.
Before Mass, it was kind of a mess. So I'm glad Mass has come between me and the mess. It's given me a lot of wonderful ideas to market the school, and I realized as a musician that I was unprepared, even though I've been in business so long, and Marty has it all together with a lot of the answers that I was looking for.
One of the biggest things that Mass helped me with was actually the makeup system. Definitely had an impact in terms of our administration and making things run smoothly from the makeup aspect, which can be quite difficult for our type of business.
When I first started working with my now wife, Debbie, she was about 80 students. And it was a completely different.
Okay. So guys, Tim, can you hear me? I unmuted my audio. Tim, you got my audio there, buddy? Thumbs
Yes.
up. Okay, great. So let me go back to my slide here, the webinar jam. And here we go. So if you want to watch the whole thing, guys, you can go to musicacademysuccess.com. It's about a 30-minute info. Because you always get that question, Keong and Tim, as you know, well, how does it work in my area? We've worked with people of 44 U.S. states, Canada, small towns, major areas. And we go with our members to a lot of cool places and do a lot of cool events. Last year, we were in New York City, and we had an amazing time then. So let's watch a quick 60-second glimpse of what it was like to be in New York last year, and away we go.
I am so glad that Mass is finally here in New York City.
I'm super excited about Times Square. I'm even more excited about learning from the other Mass members that I'm going to meet.
Times Square, it's like the all-star game of music school owners. All the huge schools, all the real rock stars are here in one place.
Hands down, Mass is the best program out there. I joined and never looked back. Best decision I made for my business.
Between you and me, Marty's a class act. He really goes over the top, but at the core of the conference is education.
There's meat on the bones. It's not just ethereal and theoretical. There's practical material that's given to you.
Marty goes above and beyond to make sure that we have all the newest ideas.
There are other coaching programs.
Okay, so check that out. You guys will recognize Keong from there. We're going to introduce her in a second. And let's keep rocking here. So next up, I've got for you, just take me a second to use this. So full videos, musicacademysuccess.com. And right now, we're going to bring on our first guest. I've known this guy a long time. And guys, Keong and Tim, like I said, we have a mountain of information to go to. We do got to end right at 1 o'clock. And we're very thankful to be on the webinar today with all the members. But welcome, Tim. This is the director of the Music Academy of Acadiana, Lafayette, Louisiana. Give them 60 seconds, no more than 2 minutes, of who you are, what life was like before Mass and now, and welcome, Tim Benson.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for having me on this, Marty. Thank you again. My name is Tim Benson, and I'm here in Lafayette, Louisiana, primarily a guitar teacher. I started playing guitar at a very young age, started teaching guitar right around 2000, 2001, and played in various bands, and then decided, I want to take this music lesson thing seriously. We opened up our private guitar school in 2010, and then just kind of hit a plateau as far as marketing and how to run our business. Got with Mr. Marty Fort in the Mass system. Here we are several years later, and we're busting at the seams. We own the building we're in. We've got a recording studio. We have about 38 teachers now and hundreds of students. So it's been a life-changing experience, and I couldn't be happier running this organization and also being involved in music.
Thank you, Tim. There he is. We're now going to go to Nutley, New Jersey, and that's again a question we get. We got people in the Northeast area, Midwest, South, West Coast, Canada, all over. Kyung Lee, she is the director of the Nutley School of Music. She's also a member of the Music Teachers National Association. So Kyung, hi, how are you? To give them kind of the same intro, and welcome.
Marty, I'm Kyung Lee. My husband and I own Nutley School of Music in New Jersey, and we've been in business for 21 years. And when we started, we had 30 students. Today we have 500. We went as high as 670, and we joined Mass about 4 years ago. So the difference, just to give you some math here, it took us 11 years on our own to get to 300 in 2011. And for another 5 years, we stayed at 300. So up until 2016 or so, we were the same, just doing the same thing every year after year after year. And then we met Marty, and everything just changed in a huge way. Now, in 4 years, we grew 370. So he basically saved us about 16 minus 4 years. So he saved us 12 years of my life just doing the same thing over and over again. So thank you, Marty. So life is really good now with Mass.
You're welcome. And Kyung and I were talking before the webinar. I want to pause for 1 second. And one of the things we want to stress, if you take just one thing away from today's webinar today, there's a lot of bad news out there. There's a lot of bad news on social media. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of bad news, of course, on the media. And it's true, but we're here to share our stories and the inside of our world of what we've gone through with COVID with all three of our schools, what we are seeing. And the big message we want to leave everybody with, no matter what you take away from it, is our industry is going to be okay. We're seeing, so I'm going to dive into it, but we're bringing you a message that we are blessed to be in the music teaching industry, and our schools are doing well, and we're here to help yours do the same. So let's get to work with that. There's Kyung. Hi, Kyung. And real quick, I did want to show just a very, very brief. This is Kyung actually performing at our, let's do 30 seconds of this. Videos, where did you go? There you are. She's performing at our New York City event. We did a recital with the members as well. So enjoy Kyung's performance. Away we go. So I hated to cut that off because there's no real easy fade, but enjoy that, and that's on our website as well, guys. So congratulations, Kyung. We had a great recital, lots of good stuff. Okay, let's dive into the meat, so to speak, of the call. And let's look at stats on how the music studio industry has been affected by COVID. The bad news is true. I mean, there have been a lot of schools that have closed. There have been a lot of schools that have been heavily had their enrollment lowered. And so those are the stats of what's known. And unfortunately, that is what's broadcast the most. I mean, I've had friends that worked in the news media. They always say what bleeds leads, and that is a real thing in the news media. So you're always going to get the bad news, some of the good news. But, there is good news out there. That's what we're here to share today. And even if you look at some of the stats with the media, you have to kind of dig for it. But guys, the reality is, I forget the exact stat. They showed it on one of the business channels the other day. There's been more new businesses made in 2020 than in 2019. So even though a lot of people are having a hard time, and maybe it's you on the webinar today, that's where we're here to help you. That's our goal. A lot of new businesses are coming out. A lot of businesses are growing. So we all got to start there to know that it is happening and it is possible and it's in our control. Okay. So what you want to do to help this along is first step is you got to take the step of identifying which category of impact your studio is currently in. Okay. Now they kind of come in three different flavors. Well, one, obviously, if they're closed, that's one category. Another impact. And I'm not sure where that noise is coming from. I'm not moving a muscle, so it's not my audio. So if somebody watch what they're doing. But anyway, so guys, the second part of impact is maybe they've lost 50%. That's one category. The third one is maybe they're down 25%. I would say that's kind of a common number for schools that are down, but it's still very, very, very manageable. Then you have the category of our members that they've broken even, or a lot of them have grown. But the first thing is you got to identify, write down on your piece of paper, go and have your pen handy, your handout ready. And if you came in late, remember the handout they sent you is in the email you got about today's webinar. So make sure you have the handout with you, okay? And I kind of just gave you the stats on how Music Academy Success members have been affected. The bottom line stat for how MAS members have been affected during COVID is this. All of our current members have not closed. And I'm extremely, extremely proud of that. And I wanted to bring on Tim and Keong, and guys, you got 30 seconds each. We've got a mountain to go through. I've got 77 slides, okay? And I'm going to get through all of them and fulfill my promise. So, but Tim, real quick, you've seen it. What have you seen with the other members? I mean, yes, some have gone down. They've had losses, but some are I don't want to get ahead of you. You let them know. I mean, what have you seen? You've seen everybody that's current there. We have a closed Facebook group for just our members. Tim, what have you seen since March 2020 with our members?
Well, so a lot of the first few weeks of this whole thing was pretty crazy, and it was just literally trying to readapt to more of the online world. And I'll tell you, we took a few steps back on our enrollment, but we quickly bounced back, and it seems like most members did. And that's because we just kept positive, number one. Number two, we just focused on really make sure to service our clients, our students as best as we can in this crazy time. And number three, we just kept marketing. And over the next few weeks after that, things started to ramp slowly back up. And we were kind of like a really tight support group for each other. And the training and just kind of being together and relaying what everybody else is doing in other states was super supportive. And it kept our spirits strong because, as Marty said, it's so easy to get sucked into a lot of what's going on in the mainstream. So I think just having that camaraderie to help us get through it was life-changing, and it's very valuable.
Keong, how about you? You've been with us a long time. You were definitely here with us every bit on us. So 60 seconds or less, how are the MAS members doing?
I think they're all very thankful that we got through this together, because just standing alone in the water is just so scary, so we share tips, we share the hope, we even had sort of a slogan like keep the music going, all over the place. That really gave us a lot of hope. And we just tried to help all of us, the MAS members, who were just focused on serving the community, making sure that the people are not falling into fear, with the rest of the world. And we kept the music going, and we had great support, and we're still here going strong. We're doing recitals online and people coming back in person. So it's looking really good right now.
Absolutely. Tim and Keong, if you look up, there's a microphone icon. Go ahead and mute when I'm not asking you guys questions. Let's see if that kills some of that background noise. So if you guys can go ahead and mute, and then when I call you, unmute. We'll try it that way. All right. So like I said, the good news, guys, the reason we're here today is the bottom line for every school that I've seen reopen, and this is what is certain for me during this uncertain time, is that the students are returning in person. So please take that to heart, and please know that we're here to report case studies. You know, we work with hundreds of members. I'm not out there just making blogs and not owning schools. I own my schools. I have my own schools. I saw it happen with my schools. Now, we've got incredible variance. I mean, we've got some people who are in Hawaii and they've had like the lowest, cases. We've had some that opened up in April and they were just fine. We had some that are still closed and they're still on lockdown and there's still mandates. There's still extreme limitations. So we've seen it with all of them, and we've come up with solutions for every different way to handle those scenarios. But the good news I want to stress to you all, and you got to take to heart, is this. So the first step to you rebuilding your enrollment is not only understanding that things are good, but the second step is taking this to heart from today. Every school that has reopened inside Music Academy Success that we've seen, which is only case studies we can base this on, that's what we're here to do and share. All of this, not all the students, but the students have come back in person. And normally it goes different ways. If you've had low cases, it may be a quick 40%, 50% come back, 50% stay online. In places like New Jersey, it's slower. It's more of a trickle. And a part of that is because how much they've seen. So for example, if you look at South Carolina, our cases and our fatalities have been nowhere near what New York and New Jersey have gone through. So, people are maybe more aggressive about going out, although we still have mask mandates. And if I wasn't in a room by myself, I'd be wearing my mask, which I'm going to show you a safety video in a second as one of your steps to rebuilding during COVID. So we're going to show you today all of our safety protocols visually. It's going to be really cool. And you'll be able to reference that after the webinar to copy for your own studio. Okay. But, the schools that have seen huge fatalities, they're going to maybe go in 10% first week, 20%, but then they come. And then we've got some schools that are, I saw one the other day, Tim, on our Facebook group. She's in Utah, and they've got like 95% of the students back in person. I would say we're probably looking at, in my schools, about 80% back in person. And then you've got still the mix. Now, we give our students a choice. If Keong wants to come in, you can Zoom or in person. That's up to you, okay? And once again, if you came in late, you can send in your questions anytime. You can text them to 803-917-1434. We've got 600 people that signed up for today, so it's too many for the chat. But go ahead and send your questions in. We'll do that at the end. You can text us at 803-917-1434. Contact info is at the bottom of every slide. Or email if you prefer, office@musicacademysuccess.com. Just know that if you do ask a question, we'll read your first name and the question, and there we go. If we can we'll get everybody's names we can. So let's get into specifics of what we did. What we did to help members get through this is I immediately, when this went down, pivoted. And I said, okay, here we are. And we're all in this. And my schools were locked down too. Everybody's were. And so what we normally do with our members is monthly coaching calls. And we do calls kind of like today, kind of like the Music Teaching Association does, different special topics, special guests, and I'll talk about different things. But we changed from the monthly model to weekly. And every week for a long period, we went through, and we've got access. Everybody that joins, becomes a member, has access in the archive to over 20 of our coronavirus calls that were 1 hour each, me talking about solutions, specific action items, questions from the members, and direct guidance. So, Tim, I'm going to go to you. 30 seconds, because we do got to watch the clock, and I got a ton to get in. What was that like, Tim? I really circled the wagon and said, okay, everybody, we're here. Let's do this. Unmute your audio, then put it back. That did solve that, by the way, so thank you guys for that background noise. And Tim, what was that like? Because you made every call as far as I can remember.
Yes, I sure did. It was so great to just get there's, like I said, a support system, and to get you to help guide us through just, what to do next. Really, that's the question. It's like, what to do next? What are you guys doing? Let's get some feedback. Let's get some dialogue. And it really made me feel like I wasn't alone in all this, and especially just running my business in general. It's great to have a coach to help you get through the next hurdle, wherever that is, and overcome it and keep growing. Every professional athlete's got a coach. A lot of professionals in different industries have coaches. Why should this be no different? So that's how I look at it. And it was great to get that check-in very frequently, very personable. And I much appreciate it. I know a lot of the MAS members did as well. So that's exactly my experience with it.
Well, thank you, Tim. Please mute that back. And so, guys, what you want to write down in your hand out there and take to heart, the next step to rebuild your enrollment during COVID is, and write it 3 times, communication, communication, communication. And I'm going to give you some specific tools with videos and stuff we're going to talk about. But that's what I did with the MAS members, and it's what I did with my own clients, okay? Which perfectly times in, because I don't have every slide memorized, but there we go. That's how on point this is with that. I'm going to show you now what I did with my students. And this is another big takeaway for today's webinar. If you haven't done this already, that's okay. You can still do this. And it's so vital to getting your enrollment back during COVID, which is, listen, guys, I get the paralysis. I mean, I definitely have felt mentally paralyzed through this. I mean, it's been awful, 2020, the whole thing, so many anxieties, so many fears. And we're wired, I believe, as musicians, we're emotional creatures. We hear music with more dynamics. We feel things differently. That's why we play music. That's why we listen to music. That's why music is what we do. And so I think, especially during the pandemic, it's affected us hard, but we have to get beyond the paralysis, which is another thing to write down. And getting beyond the paralysis means just saying, okay, what have you learned so far? Our industry, segments of it are doing well. The industry is coming back. Please scream that from the mountaintops, from me to Music Academy Success to you. When you're talking to your peers, when you're in forums, when you're in person, whatever, that no, not every school is doing bad. And we're very sorry for the ones that are, but that's why we're trying to help everybody do better. And one of the things is you got to get past the paralysis. You got to pick yourself up. And what I did is I said, okay, this is the card we've been dealt. I can either just keep being an ostrich and hide, I hope it goes away, which is not going away, and it's going to be around for a long time, or I can hit it head on and communicate again with my clients. So I said, okay, I'm going to make a safety protocol video. And I've not only made it, but I've updated it as we've gone on. And even some of the things in here now need to be updated somewhat, but it was so crucial for me to make this video. I made the safety protocol video. I want you to have at it. We're just going to watch a little bit of it. It's 4 minutes long. We're going to watch the first little bit. But I use this with prospective clients. It's on our website, the full video. I want you to copy it. Have at it, guys. It's for you. And it's helped us so much to convert clients that are thinking, okay, I'm interested in going to this place. Well, let's think about this for a second. If you're looking to go into a school, which one are you going to go to? The one that has the safety video saying, hey, here we are, come inside virtually. This is what we do. Let's get specific. Or the place where you're not really sure because the director, the musician, maybe you are still going through that paralysis of what to do. I'm trying to give you today, and I'm giving you the steps to write down of step 1, step 2 to go, and you got to make this video. So let's take a second here, 2 minutes. This is the safety video I made, and then I'll talk about some more ways I used it. So from ColumbiaArtsAcademy.com, this was filmed back in April, I believe, somewhere thereabouts, and maybe May. Here we go.
It's been wonderful to start lessons again. We have missed seeing our students every week.
My students are excited to be back. They love being in the studio. They love having just the one-on-one.
The best part, I think, is seeing how much the students have changed in just the couple of months without seeing them. They're shooting up like bean sprouts.
I would honestly say that they're ready to practice a little bit harder and they just appreciate music that much more.
As we restart lessons, safety has been one of our top priorities. We are making sure we're keeping limited amounts of people in the building to maintain proper safety ratios. We have the disposable mask ready to go at the desk. We have a bucket of hand sanitizer at the desk of each school. We've also hired a professional cleaning service to come in and clean all these schools routinely throughout the week during the off hours.
We're asking the parents to actually sit in their vehicles or sit outside while they wait for the students, and they're welcome to zoom into the lessons.
In our lesson room, we have sanitizing spray for all of the instruments, all of the surfaces that we use in a lesson.
In order to practice social distancing, we have a keyboard set up inside the classroom, and I sit at the keyboard and the kids sit at the piano, and we're able to play together even though we're not at the same piano.
For vocal students in the classroom, we are using masks, and we are also cleaning the music stands between each session. One other option for teaching voice students is to go outside, especially on these lovely sunny days that we have had.
One of the great things
Can you hear me now, Kyung? Back on? Great. So lots to see there, guys. So listen, have at it. What we did with that video is we use it still. We email it to potential clients. We emailed it to our current clients. We emailed it to our former clients. We put on all our socials. I also use it now with teachers that are interested in coming on board with us. I say, okay, you're interested in teaching with us, which another thing I want to share real quick is, write this down. It's not on the handout. But we have had an explosion in teacher resumes. So those of you that are on the larger side, maybe you got 200, 500,000 students and already work with teachers, or you wanting to work with teachers, we have been deluged with resumes, new people wanting to come in. And so what we do is we send them that video in advance because we want, again, the C word, to communicate. So they know exactly what's going on and we're all on the same page and we're looking for somebody that's really ready to go. Okay, I got to move faster. So we got a lot going on. We're getting good questions in. Let's keep sending those in. So as I said, future outlook's very bright. I've gone over the stats for reopen. You know, listen, guys, I personally have an issue with online-only music studios. If that's what you want to do, you know, it's free world, fine, have at it. But I don't think it's the way to go. I think the challenges with going online only for the long term, I'm not talking about the next 12 months, I'm not talking about the next 18 months. I'm talking about as a permanent business model. Those you're saying, well, I could do virtual forever. The challenges with that are a couple things. One is going to be price suppression. So if Tim's offering lessons online and Kyung's offering lessons online and Tim drops his prices and Kyung drops her prices, well, now you're battling that, okay? The second thing I've also said is there's going to be a lot of people, it doesn't matter if you went to Juilliard, Manhattan, wherever you went, that are more famous than most of us, that are going to be able to leverage their fame to have online schools. And it's already happening. And what they're able to do with that is use their celebrity to, I saw one the other day, extremely famous musician, extremely successful musician, $29 a month. Well, we're 130. You see what I'm saying? So the virtual thing, do as you like, guys. But for me, I'm pushing mass members in a different direction, gently, to say no. When it's safe, we got to be back in person. That's going to vary state to state. And, you know, so what we did at our place is, as I showed you, we had our safety video. We reopened May 18th. And our big thing is we stick with the regulations. That's what I recommend you do. You stick with your state Department of Health. It's constantly changing. I'll give you a big tip for your handout. Don't rely on the PDFs. We're blessed in South Carolina that our Department of Health has a phone number we can call 7 days a week, 10 to 6 p.m. So if there's ever a question, there's a lot of support because things change daily. That's what I'm saying to you. You say, Marty, something happened. I don't know what to do. Well, I'm telling you what to do. Call your Department of Health. Get somebody on the phone or call the CDC, you know, whichever you prefer. But what's happened with us is we reopened. We did so safely, and at each location, our enrollment is growing, and the students are coming back, but they're coming back in person, or they're using a hybrid. So we are not going to go virtually on, you know, forever. Let's talk about real estate opportunities, guys. You know, I am so sorry for all the people that have lost their businesses, but we have to every day get up and focus on what we control, which is us. And there's a lot of real estate opportunities coming for you. It could be a chance to renegotiate your current lease, could be a chance to rent someplace that's already there that you can take advantage of, could be a time to purchase a building at a rock bottom thing. But this is actually an opportunity to where you can get an advantage. So you need to be looking at those three things: what's available to either renegotiate as far as your rent, what's available out there to rent for the first time. Maybe you're looking to expand, because again, if this is the time for a lot of people to expand and go forward. And again, the stat is, guys, more small businesses have opened in 2020, as the major news business network said yesterday, versus 2019. So if that's you, move forward. And also, maybe it's the right time to purchase, okay? So let's keep going here. What we do, a lot of you are saying, well, Marty, that's great, but I'm nowhere near there. You know what I mean? So maybe you're still in your home or you're driving to students' homes, that kind of thing. What we have as resources inside our program is I made a training called The Journey from Solo Teacher to Large School Director. It's an hour-long, A to Z, answers everything about how that journey goes, because I've done the journey myself. The second one, which is a question I get a lot, is, well, Marty, how do we choose the right place? Where do we go? I made a second training that's 1 hour as a resource for our members. Commercial site location, how to make the leap from your home studio. Because remember, we got resources for everybody on this webinar, mid-size, large, small, and you want to notate on there, we've got over 100 audios, because we've been doing this since 2008, dealing with marketing, growth, retention, HR, competition, reducing stress, covers everything up to the minute that we do in my 3 schools, which I currently still offer now. Now let's talk about what's safe to offer, what's a bit more problematic. Well, I mean, the safest are going to be your piano, your guitar, your drums. The more problematic, but it can be done with your Department of Health. And I'm saying to you, again, that's where you have to go, okay? This is going to be archived for a year. So whenever you're watching this, whether you're with us live today or watching the replay later, my advice is still going to be the same. If you're doing voice, which is more challenging because of the air transmission, if you're doing brass, marching bands are still going on, guys. They're doing different masks. There's a cool thing out there, the Broadway Relief Project is, I believe, what it's called. I've never met these people. I am a customer of theirs, and we purchased those masks for our voice teachers. You know, we did, as you saw in our safety video, everything we could possibly do with the air filters, ventilation. There are things called Z-shields, so many different things, but the video shows it. But you want to get ahead of it. Just say, okay, this is what we offer. And so maybe the right move, Tim, I'm going to go to you real quick and then come back to you. And Tim, I said this to you. You know, if you've got brass and you've got 10 students, maybe the best thing to do is let them continue just online, if that's what's safest, and that's okay. Maybe the right decision for you is to keep your voice online, let the piano guitar come in. And Kyung, I will go to you because we actually had a cool thing happen with you where we did some things with the measurements of the rooms, you know. So let me slow down. I'm very excited to be here today, and I've got a lot to say. One, call your Department of Health, find out the regs, stick with them. Because especially if somebody's going to question or challenge that, you're going to want to have the appropriate legal answers. Two, identify, okay, what you're doing and what makes the safest and best sense, but still be able to move forward. And that may mean keeping some of them online. So for example, our group classes are going to be online for a very long time. Our private lessons, we got the 6 feet, everything in that video. Tim, you're up for 30, then Kyung, you're up for 30 on, what was my advice to you, what we see with other people as far as, you know, being able to break that down and say, okay, one instrument's safer than the other, so maybe we should take one online, if that makes sense. Tim, you're up.
Yeah, that's absolutely what we did. So we transferred a lot of the wind and brass and voice online. We did get some room dividers. We do the sanitize each room several times a day and 6 feet apart. Thankfully, our rooms are fairly large, so that wasn't too difficult for us. And we just avoided the smaller rooms and we redistributed where the lessons would take place. So, but you're absolutely right. We really had to pay attention to our regulations here in our city and state. And that's obviously very important for any business, but especially for those that are in close contact. So it was great advice, and we're happy to take it.
All right, guys, I'm not being rude here. I'm just monitoring the questions that are coming in. So again, send those, the contact info is right there. Text them to us, 803-917-1434. There's 600 people that registered for this, so we got to keep the chat manageable, which is why we routed it to that. Or email Office of Music Academy Success. Alexis is standing by. Kyung, how about you? You know what I mean? There's some of them are saying, Marty, I got small rooms, or I got this going on. There's always a list of Marty, I got, right? But at the end of the day, we got to say, okay, based on the situation, how do we then fix that? How do we then break through that? So Kyung, do you mind talking 30 seconds or less about, you know, you had some concerns and how we were able to break through it?
Well, we have 15 rooms, and in my mind, they were really small, but I went in with your advice. I went and actually measured everything, and 14 out of those 15 rooms are capable of keeping that 6 foot distance. I mean, you have to sit right on the wall, but still 14 is better than 5. You know, initially I thought I had maybe 5 rooms that fit, but in reality we had more. And, you know, just moving some furniture around or whatever, we'll be able to fit 14 rooms.
Absolutely. So guys, thank you, Kyung. I'm sorry, I just got to.
That's okay.
Thank you. Exactly. Because what you said is so important, Kyung, right? And I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you want to add anything else?
No, it's okay.
Okay, we're going to come back to you. We got lots to go. We could do this for 10 hours. But Kyung, exactly. What we have to do is get out of our comfort zone as musicians, get down to measuring, calling departments of health, and having a plan. And that's what we're here to do today. One, first, it's got to be in your mindset. You can do this. Get your students back. 2, don't be paralyzed. 3, communicate. 4, make your safety video. 5, call the Department of Health. 6, analyze your unique situation. The one thing I know about musicians, you're all unique. You're all slightly different. You got different things going on. And wherever you are, that's going to vary locally to the local municipality. So do what Keong did, break down the room, do what Tim did, say, okay, brass guys, sorry, bad news, you're going to be online. Why? Because you have to. And listen, you have to have strength. You got to put down their thick skin to get through this. I've had to tell some people things they didn't want to hear. So for example, we put all of our voice teachers in the largest rooms. We still put our piano teachers in rooms that were distance, but of course they kind of miss the old room. Well, we just got to come together. We're here to keep people safe, okay? And people have to understand that, and they have to see you. And I'm mainly talking to the schools that are large, owners when you're making these changes, be around. And I'll give you another tip. I never did any group emails. I always did things in person on the phone. So if Tim had a concern and he's one of my teachers or staff, I talk to him. Keon, same thing. Communicate. Okay, let's keep rocking and rolling here. All right. So it's all about the marketing changes you're going to need to do to rebuild your enrollment. The simplest way I can say it is, because that is another long discussion, is write down this. Currently write down, I want you to write down how many things you're doing to market your school. How many things are you doing right now to market your school? What's the number? And most of you are going to put 3. It's website, maybe social media, word of mouth. That's it. The way I'm able to grow past 1,000 schools, what I work with Tim on, what I work with Keong is, and write this down, to get your enrollment back, you're going to have to do is your business plan 20 things every month to get to those numbers. You say, Martin, 20 is a lot of things. Well, it is, but you've got time. Every day we wake up, guys, we've got really nothing to do until 2 or 3 in the afternoon. We're not doctors or dentists having to start working on people 7 o'clock in the morning. So you've got to get to that 20 number to rebuild your enrollment, pre-COVID or really anytime, okay? And the second part of that is what type of marketing to do is going to surprise a lot of you. The type of marketing you need to do to get your students back and your enrollment back is it's got to be online, which is the obvious, Google, Facebook, social media, all that stuff, Instagram, Twitter. Some are using TikTok. That's up to you. I'm still monitoring how that goes. But there's always going to be new online things to do. We know that. But we work intensely in Music Academy Success to get to 1,000 students, 2,000, 3,000. If we're saying, Marty, no way, Jose, I don't want that. If you just want to fill out your house, but you still want to go from 20 to 50, fine. You got to do things that are offline. The things you need to be doing marketing-wise, it's got to be offline. Things that are in print, things that are in paper, and we work hard. We give our members all of the things I do in my schools. We send them a box, they give them the hard copies, we give them the digital, and we show them everything I'm doing, which is constantly changing, to rebuild that, okay? Now let's talk about student retention. It doesn't matter if you get a ton of students, if they're going out as quickly as possible, or just as quick as you're getting them in. So right now on your handout, write down on your piece of paper how many things you're doing each month to keep your students. Well, most of you are going to put 3 or 4 again. Maybe you do recitals. We're going to talk about virtual right now. Maybe you're doing a follow-up call. Frankly, maybe for most of you, it's really 2 things. You're just doing recitals or follow-up calls. There's not a whole lot going on with the retention. Maybe you're doing stickers. There's a lot of great piano methods out there. Who knows? But what you need to do to get through COVID, to get your enrollment back, is be dedicated to stepping up your game with retention. And what we do is we do 19 things every month with our students to retain them, with technology, with in-house systems, and we share that with all of our mass members. So we got to flesh out what you're doing to take you from 2 things to retain your students, to blow your mind, expand your mind, and get you trained just like you train your music students on how to get that up to the number of 19, all right? So let's talk about setting goals. But first, let's do recitals, then setting goals. So virtual recitals. Show of hands, Tim or Keelan, have you done your virtual recitals yet? Raise your hand if you have. Okay, great. So we'll talk about that for 30 seconds. Basically, I've seen 2 main flavors for virtual recitals. We have moved our traditional 6-month performances to 2021 when it's safe. However, I'm seeing 3 things happen inside the Music Academy Success program. 1, virtual recitals. Really 2 different types, although there's many. 1, teacher does live without a net like we're doing now. And let's say they've got 20 piano students. They all get on. Teacher MCs. Some of them done really fun things, like dressed up in tuxedo and MC the recital. And the students play. It's recorded, rebroadcast. That's simple enough. The challenge with that becomes, do all the students have great Wi-Fi? Well, if one of them has bad Wi-Fi, you've got an instant problem. So some of our teachers opt to do pre-recorded videos. Either they tape the student during the lesson, or the students, because a lot of our students are savvy or they got moms or dads that are. And so they'll send really cool videos and we will then splice them together. It's very easy to do that. And you can do that way. Okay. The third thing I've seen, and guys, look, why not? If the weather's good in your area, take advantage of it. A lot of them are doing outdoor recitals. As long as you're sticking with your Department of Health, and I would never do an outdoor recital without calling them first, then great. But I've seen a lot of that as well. 30 seconds each, guys, because we got to burn through this quickly. And we got questions piling in. Tim, how did your virtual recital go? What advice do you have for others? And then Kyung, your recital's advice, and let's roll.
Our virtual recital was awesome. We had a tremendous amount of participation. The cool thing is we had a videographer put them all together. So they were pre-recorded. We had them all compiled. Our logo, we created this cool graphic. And basically we set an air date to air it on Facebook Live. We did some marketing and preparation for it. But here's the cool thing. We are also re-airing some of those performances as we go on our social media. So not only is it a great event, it's also great for follow-up marketing. And parents really get to see after the fact how these recitals work and how fun music lessons can be.
Kyung.
Okay, our recitals, we had about 150 participants within a month. We did all month of August, actually also June. So those 2 months were pretty busy, and we did it over Zoom, and we could see the reactions of the kids, and they were just kind of going like this when it was their turn. But it was a really great time, and they were very happy to be able to invite people from all over the world to watch their performance, and we watched it together, so that was very cool.
Fantastic, guys. Please mute that back. Let's keep rocking here. And we got some great questions coming in. If you got a question, contact info is right here at the bottom of the screen. Email or text your question in. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to do that in a little bit. So let's examine your current model. Like I said, the bottom line is if you're going to rebuild during this COVID nightmare, and I'm a very honest, real business world guy, even though I've been through academia and I've been a professor myself, we talk in real world language here in Mass. It's been awful. 2020, please go away. But you got to examine your current model, and I made significant changes. Tim made changes, Keon made changes, and you need to make changes as well. But then at the end of the day, we just got to rock it and move on, okay? One of which is one of the keystones, the cornerstones of why I founded Mass is we teach all year round. We do not teach we did not do semesters. We do through the summer. We make a lot of profit because of that. And if you're saying, Marty, my summers are bad, that's one of the biggest ways Mass can help you. Makeup lessons are something I struggle with a very, very, very long time. What we do during COVID is basically the student can get a pre-recorded video lesson, so that helps. But it's not a be-all, end-all. We still have them. We try to get them into to use instead of the video something we think is stronger, which is our proprietary, and we do it just for our members, our progressive makeup lesson solution. The challenge I was having is I had contracts. I was given private makeup lessons with 24 hours notice. But the parents really, frankly, just didn't care. They still wanted their makeup. There was a lot of drama. I've seen bad Google reviews because of it. So we teach in Music Academy Success how to use our makeup lesson system to solve that, which also, as an aside, improves your student retention. So if I could leave you with another big takeaway from today, people are saying, summer's bad, what are you going to do? It shouldn't be. Tim, I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Did you used to think that way about summer? Was it just put up the white flag?
Yeah.
What's summer like now?
Oh, prior to Mass, dread summer because everybody would bail. They leave town. Now, June, July, 2 of our biggest months of the year, and it's been that way for years. And we just know how to approach parents and students and how to keep them engaged. That's simple.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about the comparables between music mentorship and business mentorship. You are all music mentors, and you have all had music mentors. There are sports mentors. There are all kinds of mentors that take you from one place to another, and that's what Mass does. I am in the business mentorship business. That's what I've done since 2008, okay? So I'm going to give you now an actual exercise that I want you to write down. Somebody asked, what are some specific ideas for marketing? So the question was, what are specific ideas? Well, what are the 20 things you got to do to specifically market and get people back? Because you got to help your students choose you over your competition. I'm going to go through this quickly, but you can watch the replays. We got 10 minutes. We are ending at 1. Okay, guys? So this is your exercise. Write down on a piece of paper comparing your school to maybe a big box retailer that offers lessons or a competitor that's very similar to you. You got to write down your comparable list of what you do that they do not. That's the specific marketing tip. So I'm going to give you some for Mass. This is how I market Mass or the schools. I compare myself to others, what they can get with me and others. We're the only coaching program based in the U.S. that the coach owns 3 locations and the real estate currently operates them. We're the only coaching program based in the U.S. The owner's been a university professor of music for over 35 years of teaching experience. You want to be able to use your credentials. Use your credentials, guys, as a way to get ahead of your competition to get parents to choose you. We're the only coaching program based in the U.S. that had owners successfully pass 2 independent contractor audits. That's important. Contractor audits are on the rise. If you're working with teachers and you've got contractors under you, I'm of the belief that every studio eventually gets audited. I've been audited twice. I passed both times. And it's not only specific to the United States, it's specific to your state. And Mass helps you through that in an intense fashion, okay? Only coaching program based in the business for 10 years. If you've been in business, I got one member, guys, her school's been open 50 years. Use that to your advantage in your marketing specifically to rebuild during COVID and after. Only coach based in the U.S. that has a #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Music Lessons. If you've written a book, now's a great time to do so. You got time. Only coach to receive 9 U.S. patents for our student retention system, the musical ladder, which is used by 25,000 students in the U.S., Canada, Australia, and Europe. So we work with our members on helping them understand trademarks. I've got many trademarks, patents. I've got 9 copyrights. We've actually got an upcoming call with a special guest who's an intellectual property attorney. So if you develop that kind of stuff, your clients are fascinated by it. Use it to promote your studio and get your clients back. And this is a big one. I'm the only coach in the world that offers a 12-month money-back guarantee, and that's huge. If you're doing any kind of risk reversal for your clients, let them know that's a super specific strategy to get students in. And here's another big one. We're one of the only coaching programs that if you stop coaching with Mass, you get to keep access to materials, okay? A lot of coaches will say, well, if you quit, you cut off access. I don't think that's very fair. You're investing time and money. Nobody stays forever, neither do your students. When you leave, you need to be able to take the stuff with you. So be sure to ask people about that, and whatever advantage you have in your studio, same thing. We have no enrollment period. You can apply for membership at any time. Your school, if you do open enrollment, gotta let people know. Your clients are trepidatious. I've had people say, Keong, is there an application for the music school? No, there's not. Come take piano, please. But they don't know. So you've got to, in your marketing, explain how easy it is to get the students. Start it and tell them the next step and tell them what to do. Okay. We do not require our members to join to go to a live event. They can join it for the comfort of their home. So that immediately goes into the COVID strategies of, listen, if you're doing virtual, you got to let them know. We front-ended heavily in our headline, online and in-person lessons, virtual and in-person lessons. So that's got to be huge for your marketing to get people in, because you're going to serve both markets. We're the only coaching program that still does conferences in major cities, Dallas, LA, New York, Charlotte. We're going to Nashville. Very excited about that. These are some pictures of our conference. So back to your question about specific tips for marketing. Images, images, images. With Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, everybody is so visually driven. And this has been the huge thing now, that it used to be the copy was 50% of the battle. Now it's images, guys. So go through images. This is Cleveland. That was Charleston. That's Dallas. That picture, when somebody's looking at it, we front in Mass. You got to do the same with your music school, okay? So your action item homework is to do all those things. Make and advertise your only at my school list, and you'll be rebuild a lot faster, okay? So quickly, I'm going to go through some of these questions. And one of the questions was, what do we use to sanitize our pianos? The answer is it's a mix of vinegar and water with some household cleaning solution. The reason I do that is I've grown to size now, guys. I used to teach in my house, 20 kids. We've now got 1,000 students. I've got a general manager, managers at each location. So they are responsible for all these frontline things. That's why I go to them for the specifics. But a mix of vinegar, water, some household cleaning solution, okay? Another question we got was from somebody in New York City. Question is, I run a private piano teaching business in New York City. Had a few who immediately canceled their lessons, and definitely the first week of COVID, about 25%. I'm 100% still online this semester doing lessons. One, I would love for you to join Mass, and let's get you to stop doing semesters, have you teach all year round, okay? But this she goes on to say, or he, whoever it is, should I reach out to these students via email? How do I encourage them to start back, or should I just focus on getting new clients? Well, I'm begging you, the safety video, go back for your formers, guys. Get the formers back. email them, call them, and please take the safety video we gave you today and front end with that, okay? We got 5 minutes left on it as quickly as possible. I hope you're getting the sense that we're psyched about what we do. We are active in what we do. We'd love to help you get back to where you are. So follow up with us, musicacademysuccess.com, and this is what our members get. We send them 3 manuals, everything we do, all of our operations, all of our marketing step-by-step, 4 audio trainings, 3 webinars, because everybody learns different. Some like books, video, audio, we got it all. Closed Facebook group, which is huge. Members-only site, over 100 audios, 100 special reports, money-back guarantee, because there is a certain outcome at uncertain times. There's only 2 outcomes with Music Academy Success. Either you're going to grow, that's outcome A, and you're going to be happy, and you're going to be like Tim McKeon. Or outcome B, no, Marty, not for me. You got a full 12 months to check it out, and we give you every penny back. And we've been doing that since 2008. Check us out on the BBB. You'll see it's true, okay? How much does it cost? Not more than a good upright piano or electric guitar. It's 3 payments of $499, 30 days apart. What I'm going to do with this, since I need to go quickly, is I've made these bonuses for MTA members. I'm going to kind of screenshot each so you can look at them, but I'll kind of go quick, but it's going to be on the replay. But if you email our office, we will send you these bonuses, which going back to the New York City question, follow up, guys. If you're going to specifically rebound from COVID, you got to follow up with prospects, okay? And so follow up with us. We'll do the same, and we'll send you these bonuses. But you get our fast track call. That's with me. I'll read your story in advance. I'll do the call with you. I'll learn about your situation and help you out. Bonus 2, we got the IRS CD, talk about contractor audits. Bonus 3, how to keep students longer. Bonus 4, marketing masterclasses. You got piano masterclasses. We have marketing masterclasses. See what others are doing. See my critiques. Dominate your market CD. One-on-one orientation, which is huge. You don't just join and then you're off on your own. We're going to orientate you by phone with our staff who's monitoring the Q&A right now, okay? And if you got follow-up questions, still send them to the office, guys. They will hold your hand, help you through anything so you're not lost, and that'll make sure you get on the right track, okay? Bonus 7, our social media team, website team, which is fantastic, is going to do a free analysis of your website, of your social media, grade it, help you out. All those minuses together, it's about $800. So it's easy to take the next step. Go to musicacademysuccess.com/apply. musicacademysuccess.com/apply. If you're not blocked, if your application looks good, you can go start with us today. Get on the Facebook group, start working today. And remember, there's only 2 outcomes, guys. Call us at 803-917-1434. Emails were there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Only 2 outcomes, guys. Either you're going to grow or get every penny back. Tim, you got the last 60 seconds. Then you, Keong. Some are saying it's expensive. I'm unsure. What advice do you have for them? Then, Keong, you're going to take us out.
Best investment I've made in this industry, bar none. You will make back your investment in the first month or 2 if you follow and implement. And it really does become about you. It becomes about, do you read the materials? Do you correspond with the mass group? And do you take action? And if you could do all those 3 things, we're musicians, we got to practice our instrument. Well, this is practicing our business. Same deal. This is the manual how to do it. This is the system how to do it. There's an investment, and you put in the steps, you will be fine, and you will make it back many-fold.
Keong, were you and Tom concerned about the cost? For anybody saying, I don't know, it sounds good, but I don't know. You got 30 seconds. We got to run. But thank you for being with us, Tim and Keong. Keong, what's up?
Yeah, Mass, to me, what you gave us is tools, the map to success. You give us encouragement, support. You teach us to problem solve, but most importantly, problem prevention, because you've been through it. You teach us, we save time. Like I said before, we saved 16 years. We achieved same thing in 4 years that we achieved on our own, took much, much longer. So you can't afford not to do it.
Thank you, Keong. Thank you, Tim. So guys, listen, I know there were more questions we're going to get to. We'd love to hear from you. Email us your questions, email us anything, or give us a call. We're here live Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Eastern, 803-917-1434, Office of Music Academy Success. Or go ahead and take the next step. Just go to musicacademysuccess.com/apply. musicacademysuccess.com/apply. Go and start with us today. You're either going to grow or get every penny back. Thank you guys so much. Reach out to us. Let's rebuild your school, guys. We're praying for you. Have an awesome day. And thank you. Here's to your Music Academy success.